Hello everyone, welcome to the DPB Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Mondes with DisneyPinsBlog.com, the latest news on Disney pin trading and collecting from around the world. This is episode number 96 for the week of July 31st, 2017.
Welcome to the Disney Pins Blog Podcast.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you guys had a great week. Before we jump into the pin news this week, it was a little light, actually, on the pin news. But first, I want to head back to last week's episode. We talked about our favorite pin releases from the D23 Expo. We had a comment on the YouTube video, and it's from Ryan Tremblay. He said, "My favorite from this year was probably the WDI Star Wars pins, but my all-time favorites are the WDI Nightmare Before Christmas Doom Buggy pins and the Mr. Toad pins." Those were all pretty awesome. So thanks for the comment there. Kind of a light week for pin news. We had some sad news this past week, which we'll talk about in the Disney Pin Chat segment of the show. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to start off with some exciting news from Walt Disney World. Epcot Center is celebrating their 35th anniversary coming up here on October 1st. And we got a preview of some of the limited edition pins that are going to be released. A while back, actually beginning of June, WDW News Today reported the open edition and lanyard and lanyard pouch that's going to be released for the Epcot 35th. And now there's photos up. We have them in the blog post as well of the limited edition pins that are going to be coming. A lot of really cool pins. One says the dawn of a new era. There's one for the living seas. One for Universe of Energy, which is going to be really cool because that is the closing on August 13th. And then one for the kitchen crackpots. And then there's a double hinge pin with Figment on it, which is really cool. One of my favorites is the Walt Disney pin. It's a hinge pin on the front. It has the Epcot logo with the 35th, and then on the inside features a black and white photo of Walt Disney with the original Epcot map behind him, which was the City of Tomorrow, which that's what Epcot was originally going to be. So that's really cool. Then there's going to be an I Was There pin, very exciting, October 1st, 2017. That has Spaceship Earth in the background and Figment. And then there's a super jumbo Spaceship Earth pin that has a big 35 in the center. It looks really, really big. Comes in a cool collector's box. All right, moving on. Actually, we had some pin news coming from Aulani in Hawaii. They had a new pin release. It features a heart with American flag background, has red, white, and blue stripes, and then the Aulani symbol on the center in blue with a palm tree. Really cool. It's an open edition pin. Retail price is $11.99. Next, we forgot to mention this at the beginning of July, but the next calendar pin release for the WDI pins came out. Actually, it was available at the D23 Expo. But we just put a blog post up about it. This one features Splash Mountain. It's a limited edition of 250 and the retail price is $19.95. Next was a really cool thing. The Disney's Yuletide Fantasy Tour is available at Walt Disney World. The Diz actually posted on Twitter this past week a pin that you get if you take the tour. The tour is, I believe, $99 and it's exclusive to Walt Disney World, and you can go and check out the Christmas warehouses and some behind-the-scenes things related to the holidays at the parks. On the tour, you get a pin, and this pin features Mickey and Minnie as gingerbread men. I heard from a source that they're actually going to be updating this pin for the 2018 season, so that would be exciting to see. Next, we had a new pin release at Disney Movie Club. So if you're a VIP member at Disney Movie Club, you probably saw a new pin appeared. It features Baby Groot. Retail price is $6.95, and that's exclusive to the Disney Movie Club. Another thing that we forgot to mention from the D23 Expo, the very first Incredibles 2 pin was released. Yep, that's right. This came from the Pixar Studio store at the Expo, and it's limited to 1,000. I believe this was just handed out randomly throughout the day. I unfortunately didn't get one, but yeah, I think they're handed out randomly, and also I believe the Sorcerer packages received the Incredibles 2 pin. There's also another one for the Pixar ball, Luxo. Alright, and then for the new pin releases this week, we don't have any yet because as I'm recording this, the August flyers are not available, but keep an eye out at DisneyPinsBlog.com. As soon as we know, we will be sure to put up the weekly pin post with any new limited edition or open edition pins. Alright guys, for Disney Pin Chat this week, I just wanted to remember the life of the great Disney Imagineer and Disney legend, Marty Sklar. He was one of my favorites. I was lucky enough to see him at Destination D and the D23 Expo. But yeah, he passed away this past week on Thursday, July 27th, 2017 at his home in Hollywood. And he was 83 years old and one of the very last Disney Imagineers who actually worked with Walt Disney. So, yeah, very sad news. He touched a ton of attractions at Disney parks. He was there for opening day of Disneyland. He had his hands a lot in Epcot Center and all of the parks actually around the world he helped Imagineers with. But I was lucky enough also at the D23 Expo. I went to the Ryman Arts booth, which he, I believe, owned. Ryman Arts. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary, and they had a pin there. I put a blog post up about it. I just love Marty. He's such a funny guy, and I loved hearing his stories. Very passionate man, and I saw this pin at the Ryman Arts booth, and it was actually signed by Marty. So I had to buy it. It was only $5, and there was only a few there actually signed by him. So I bought one for myself and one for my friend Jen, who's also been on the podcast many of times. She's a blogger at Disney Pins Blog, but yeah, got her one as well. So it's a cool memory to have now. He'll definitely be missed, but his legacy will continue in the many attractions that he has been a part of at Disney parks. So yeah, that's it guys for Disney Pin Chat this week. I just wanted to remember the great life of Marty Sklar. He actually has a book out. I think he has a couple books. I have one here. If any of you guys are interested, he did write this book. It's called One Little Spark by Marty Sklar. I have it here. If you guys are listening on iTunes and aren't watching this on YouTube, I'm showing the photo of the book. I have it here. But yeah, if you guys want to pick it up, it's called One Little Spark, and it has a picture of Cinderella Castle from Walt Disney World on the front of it. Very good book, and I believe you can purchase this at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So yeah, guys, that'll do it for episode number 96 of the DPB Podcast. Thank you very much for listening and watching. And next week, I believe we are going to discuss, of course, Pin News again and the Great Movie Ride closing. And I'm hoping to have Jen back on the podcast because she's actually a cast member at the Great Movie Ride, or she was. She has moved on to the Magic Kingdom, but definitely want to have her on to talk about the Great Movie Ride closing and what's to come. All right, have a great week. See ya.